we're talking about the quote, white vote. This is an electoral map that shows what the election would look like if only white people voted. And this is what the election would look like if only people of color voted. Like Obama, Clinton won voters of color by wide margins, although there's some evidence in the exit data she underperformed among Latinos and African Americans compared to Barack Obama in 2012. Today, millions of Americans in that political coalition are waking up to a president-elect who is beloved and celebrated by white supremacists and who has said things like this.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
This judge is of Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So no Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case in our view?
He's a member of a society where, very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But I think he should recuse himself.
If you are saying he can't do his job because of his race, is that not the definition of racism?
I don't think so at all.
Did you ever hear Pocahontas? Huh? It's Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren. She said she was an Indian. She said because her cheekbones were high, she was an Indian. Pocahontas.
Joining now, Maria Hinojosa, anchor and executive producer at NPR's Latino USA, Linda Sarsour, executive director, Arab American Association in New York. And Linda, I want to start with you because we've had you on the show many times. You just came, you were part of the protest that was happening. Just how you and folks you love and care about feel waking up this morning.
To be honest with you, Chris, I'm horrified. I am still wearing the same clothes that I was wearing yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning. I haven't even been home. My 12-year-old daughter was sobbing at home, crying. My office was full of people. I'm worried about 800,000 young people in this country, some of whom are my clients, who are DACA recipients, who have work authorization, who think it's just going to automatically be stripped from them, people who think there's going to be mass deportation and mass roundup of people. People are horrified. And honestly, I don't have it in me to say to them confidently and look them in the eye and say, we got this. I'm going to act strong. I'm going to go out and protest. I'm going to do what I can, but I'm literally shell-shocked.
There's a lot of people, to Linda's point, it's like we have these debates about policy, this campaign that seemed policy-free, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, here's the list. Like, the president signed an order allowing these people who brought their children to stay in the country to get legal work. That order is almost certainly going to be revoked day one. There are millions and hundreds of thousands of people who directly, day one, are going to be affected.
Right. So we put out a call in Latino USA to actually ask, we're going to report on this for this week. And the kinds of responses that we're getting are just like, I feel like my wings are being cut off. There's nothing I can do. I feel hopeless. Wow. So it's like, what do we do when we have so many people who are feeling this way? Now, again, had it been reversed, we have to understand that there would have been absolute upset.
Yeah.
But there's a difference here because you actually have a president-elect who has said things like what he said in his Phoenix speech. Day one, we're coming after you. So another one of the tweets was somebody was saying, I'm a teacher and my students are 99% Latino and they are crying all day in my class. How do I teach them? And these are questions, Chris, that we have never actually had to think about. How do we respond?
But yeah, I gotta say, I've communicated with a bunch of teachers today, and one of the things about the youngest generation in America is that they are more diverse than the oldest generation. It's part of what is happening in this country, and folks, teachers in front of kids, are worried about those things. I wonder also, to me, the moment in the campaign that I found the most troubling was the Muslim ban. For a variety of reasons, there's a million things he's done, but it was because it was a policy that he called for. He said, in the figure as I am a nominee. Now, today that came off the website today, maybe a hopeful sign. But how do you feel today in the America with a president-elect who called to ban 1 billion people that share the faith that you practice?
First of all, my kids didn't go to school today. I have 2 kids in high school and a daughter in middle school. They just couldn't even drag themselves out of bed, and I honestly didn't force them. I said, stay home, relax, just don't go to school. I'm shocked that we're having a conversation conversation about the white working class poor. That seems to be the conversation that is on many media outlets. And I want to remind people that 2/3 of Americans actually supported that proposal, that we were not shocked, and we were not as outraged at the Muslim ban as we were when we heard the tape of Donald Trump saying absolutely outrageous things to a white woman. So I am just really disappointed of the conversation that we're having. We should have been up in arms on Donald Trump, and I don't care if you're white working class. Like, people are saying, oh, they're not racist. So you basically chose your economic insecurities and your economic anxieties, and you still passively vote for a sexist, misogynist, Islamophobe, homophobe, everything that I fight against every single day. It's just fundamentally bothering me on a deep level. We are allowing a man who has executive order power, just like President Obama did DACA. He's going to undo DACA. He has power to do things.
Yeah.
He has access to nuclear code. Muslim Americans, we have been living a post-9/11 period for 15 years, and now we just think it's going to be vamped up. I mean, for God's sakes, we lived quarter under President Obama, Patriot Act, mass surveillance, under a Democratic president, a black president, a constitutional lawyer,
Yeah.
and now we have a guy who's like unhinged.
That's what I want to talk. Because one of the things you and I talked about on the show is, one of the Donald Trump said this at one point. He said, a lot of people don't know this, but Barack Obama's deported a lot of people. It's like, well, yeah, people do know that better.
Right.
Like, how much do you think that played a role in what happened last night?
The fact that the anger towards the Democratic Party.
Yes.
It's real. Although I will tell you that towards the end, those same activists, my students, for example, said they were all in, literally, sorry for the pun, but that they were all in for Hillary. So that kind of didn't stay there. But the question is what are these young people going to do, right? I mean, we have a situation now where they're asking, where do I go from here? Like, where do we go from here? So my question is, what does it mean as a country, right, that we know that there are people who are living in this kind of terror? And it's true. The raids have happened. The knocks at the door from immigration agents are getting ready to happen tomorrow morning. They are getting ready to do that because they do that. They do it at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Perhaps what Donald Trump is saying is that we're just going to do it more and in broad daylight.
Yeah.
So at least we'll see it. But the real fear, people are already afraid of that knock.
Yeah.
They are afraid of that knock.
But I just want to say something real quick, Chris. Like, honestly, like, I'm not even blaming white working class voters. I blame totally the Democratic Party. I was a Bernie surrogate. I think that there could have been a lot of things different. They told us we were naive, we were uninformed, misinformed. They marginalized us. They never tried to organize us into the Democratic Party. So if there's a soul